Welcome back to Whiskey City Overland's big East Coast solo adventure. Today we head out from New River Gorge through Shenandoah up to DC, and then we head through other parts of Virginia as I blow a brand new U-joint and get stuck in Fredericksburg, spend 2 days looking for a drive shaft and seeing some Civil War sights. Here we go. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you can help our little channel grow and you don't miss any more of the upcoming episodes. Let's get into it. Well, that was my first night in my rooftop tent, the Joy en route. Something from Amazon. Hooked up my diesel heater, ran it up there. Stayed nice and warm. The mattress leaves a little to be desired. But you know, I guess that's what you get. Now it's time to cook up a little breakfast. And then I gotta figure out how the heck I'm packing all this stuff back up. Definitely need a process for that. Sometimes all I think about is you. Late nights in the middle of June. He waves been faking me out. Can't make you happier now. Sometimes all I think about is you. Late nights in the middle of June. He waves been faking me out. Can't make you happier now. Usually I put something on TV, so we never think about you and me. But today I see our reflections clearly in Hollywood. Let's see what we got for breakfast today. I ran my fridge last night off of a Milwaukee tool battery with a cigarette lighter adapter, and it's still at 37. Of course, it probably helps that it's 37 outside. Alright, this is a Cincinnati specialty. It's called Geta. And the Germans that moved here made this to try to help make meat last longer. It's basically a kind of pork sausage that has steel cut oats in it because oats were cheap, and it made the beef or the pork last longer. And it's good. Thank goodness for Ziploc bags, right? Probably get my coffee going. Today's coffee is tacked to Squatch from Black Rifle. How do you guys make coffee on the road? I'm partial to a French press. That's how I make it at home. I French press it. I'm kind of new to coffee, so you guys tell me. French press it, percolate it. Please don't say K-cups. I want the craftsman style. 5 minutes on the Seiko. Let's make some Geta. One of the things I like about this carbon steel pan is it gets hot a lot faster, and it cools down a lot faster than the cast iron, and it's lighter. Let's see what it's like. Oh, forgot one important thing. Baja Gold mineral salt. It's supposed to be much healthier for you than other kinds of salt. Sprinkle a bit of that on there. Well, that was a delicious breakfast. Now I gotta pack all this crap up, which should be interesting. I don't even know where to start. I am gonna make me some tea for the road. I am loving this like battery powered sink doodad.
Once I got packed up, I hit the road on 64 and headed towards Shenandoah on Skyline Drive. I drove across the mountain ridges and stopped at the top at this beautiful overlook to make some lunch with some goat cheese encrusted burgers from Kroger. Took the scenic route all the way up to DC for my meeting and just had a wonderful day enjoying the scenery and the drive and the solitude and the beauty of the Shenandoah National Forest. All right, the truck is loaded up, checked out of the hotel, meeting adjourned successfully. Now it's back to some overlanding. I'm headed down to Yorktown today to see a buddy, and I think on my way I might stop at the battlefield at Manassas because it's a few miles down the road, and I am a total history nerd, and I haven't been to that one yet. So that's the plan for today. And the next couple days will probably be in Yorktown, and then we're headed to a beach, so you'll have to stay tuned. We'll see you on the road. Is that a Ford Ranger? It's a Ford Ranger! Is it? Is it? No. Is it a Nissan? It is a Ford Ranger! Virginia is a state of monumental historical significance to America. It is the state where George Washington lived. It is the state where the Battle of Yorktown, the final major battle where we defeated the British, took place. It is the state where Robert E. Lee lived and was defeated. It's the state where Stonewall Jackson was killed. And it's home to many, many battlefields, including this one at Manassas. Every time I come to one of these battlefields, it's always sobering and humbling to think about what happened here and the sacrifices that was made, the carnage, and how many people died to fight for an ideal that they believed in, and just the American spirit and how we've always fought for what we believe in, and it's how we've become the freest nation in the world. And I think it's good that they've preserved places like this. This is Manassas, to come and just remember what the cost was for us to have the freedoms that we have. And it's always special. I've been to a lot of different battlefields, and I get the same feeling every time. It's just very, very sobering just to be here and experience it. If you're in an area of a Civil War battlefield, you should definitely spend some time there and learn the history about what our ancestors gave so that we can do and have what we have now. Did all the lets and bars appear to every just or larger end? Whence should come the trust and cheer? Youth must its ignorant impulse lend. Age finds place in the rear. All wars are boyish and are fought by boys, the champions and enthusiasts of the state. Turbid ardors and vain joys not barrenly abate. Stimulants to the power mature, preparatives of fate. Who here forecasteth the event? What heart but spurns at precedent and warnings of the wise, contemned foreclosures of surprise? The banners play, the bugles call, the air is blue and prodigal. No burying party pleasure wooed, no picnic party in the May ever went less loth than they into that leafy neighborhood. In Bacchic glee they file toward fate, Moloch's uninitiate, expectancy and glad surmise of battle's unknown mysteries. All they feel is this, to his glory, a rapture sharp, though transitory, yet lasting in belaureled story, so gaily go to fight. and laughing right. But some who this blithe mood present, as on in lightsome files they fare, shall die, experienced ere 3 days are spent, perish, enlightened by the volleyed glare, or shame survive, and like to adamant, the throe of second Manassas share. By Herman Melville. After a wonderful morning at Manassas enjoying the birds and the history, I hopped on the highway and headed towards Yorktown. Little did I know I wouldn't make it.
Well, this isn't how I wanted to start my day. I had a U-joint installed right before I left, and apparently there's an issue because it just exploded. And I'm stuck in the middle of I-95. I think my drive shaft is probably destroyed. I don't know where I'm gonna get one. I'm about to get towed. I don't know where I'm gonna go. So we'll figure this out.
I don't know if you know much about what happens when a U-joint blows, but you see that shaft hanging down. If it's spinning around, it can really beat up your truck. Thank goodness for this pull-off, because being stuck even here was super dangerous.
I think I'm in Fredericksburg. So we can figure out what we got to do. I'm hoping I don't need a drive shaft, because those are going to be hard to find. I'm not sure what happened. I think the pin came out on the U-joint and cap popped out. Fortunately, I stopped. I didn't see anything wrong and everything was taut, but I didn't crawl on both sides of the truck because I didn't want to get my feet run over on the highway. But I think the cap came out on one side, and then the drive shaft came out. Fortunately, that was after I tried to take off and rolled 10 feet, and it wasn't right in the middle of the highway trying to get over. So I'm thankful for that, and that I didn't get hit. But just another dilemma. We'll try to get it back together as quick as possible, get back on the road.
Shout out to Atkinson Towing for coming to pick me up off the side of the highway.
I'm hanging out here in the break room at Doc's Auto in Fredericksburg. They're trying to find me a drive shaft, and I haven't eaten today, so they've been kind enough to let me use their break room so I can microwave the hamburgers from the other day and have some lunch.
After searching everywhere, Doc Auto could not find a drive shaft until the following week, which would mean I'd miss my ferry. So I had to source one myself.
I found a rental car, but I gotta get there fast because I gotta drive half an hour to get my drive shaft and back. Oh, and I'm out of shape, but I think we're gonna make it today. Oh. All right, I got a rental from Budget. I got a Mazda 3, so I'm gonna have to zoom. I have about a half an hour drive, hopefully no longer, because if I wait too long, they'll be closed, and then I'm stuck here all night. So we might have success here. More coming soon. So I made it to the used parts place in time. I made it back to the shop in time, only to find out that it was the wrong drive shaft. Everybody's closed now, so I'm booking a hotel. I'll take the drive shaft back and see if they have one that's the right part number. And if they don't, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll have to keep looking. Feeling pretty defeated, I gotta admit.
You buck.
Yeah, you Burke. We'll see what tomorrow holds.
Well, since I had nothing better to do and wasn't sure where I was going to stay, I decided to go to some more historical sites.
Well, it was an eventful and frustrating day, but I'm at the site now where Stonewall Jackson died. So I had to get a rental to go get a part. Decided I'm just going to keep it, stay the night, and part hunt again tomorrow. But it's cool to get to come to another site. Let's see if we can look inside this old house. Looks pretty neat. It's a beautiful night, and I'm kind of falling in love with Virginia. Looks like you used to be able to go in that house. Looks like they got it all closed off now. Would be cool to go in there and see it though. Well, maybe I'll spend the rest of the night visiting some sites in Fredericksburg. It certainly is a plethora of sights to see. Well, as if this day couldn't get any more interesting, I have now booked 2 hotels that have then called and said that they're totally booked. There's nothing else available. I could sleep in my rooftop tent. I'm not sure how safe that is in the area where the shop is. And it's right next to a highway, so I probably won't sleep. It's been one of those days. So I just booked a 3rd hotel that's an hour and 15 minutes away, but a half an hour away from where I need to take the axle shaft back tomorrow. We'll try that one and see where we can get. It's hard to imagine that such a beautiful and peaceful place could have seen a time of such violence. Wild. This whole valley was in a battle. Well, 3rd hotel booking was a success. I have to drive an hour and something all the way to Maryland, but at least I'm not sleeping in a parking lot. I spent the rest of my evening trying to relax a little bit from my stressful day and touring the place where Stonewall Jackson died after he was wounded and caught pneumonia. And then I went to Spotsylvania Courthouse Battlefield right as the sun was setting for a beautiful evening. All right, day 2 of being stuck in Virginia. Technically, I'm in Maryland because every hotel in Fredericksburg was booked last night for a soccer tournament. Annoyingly, they gave me hope because the app says that there were hotel rooms available. I booked 2 different hotels. The first one I booked, they called and said they didn't have any rooms. So I booked another one. They called and said they didn't have any rooms. So I drove an hour to Maryland to a Holiday Inn Express. So I had a place to sleep besides a parking lot at a car shop in an area that I don't know. So I'm driving back to King George to return, hopefully, the drive shaft that I bought yesterday and hope that the second drive shaft that they have is the correct one. If it's not, then I'm not sure what I'm going to do. The earliest the shop can get one is Tuesday, which means I'll miss my ferry. I don't know if that's refundable or reschedulable. I will call and ask them.
But yeah, that throws a pretty big wrench in plans. Don't break your drive shaft in the middle of nowhere. The nearest that Nissan had was in Wisconsin, don't you know? And it would take them a week to get it here. So, let's see what today holds. Hopefully, I end up with a drive shaft and my truck back together so we can continue on this journey. Let's see what happens. Driving over the Potomac, paying $9 to go over this dumb bridge from Maryland. All right, I've located 2 Pro 4X drive shafts at junkyards. One was 2.5 hours away up in Baltimore, but it hasn't been pulled yet, and it won't be able to be pulled until 11:30. That one only has 65,000 miles on it, so it probably would have been good. There's another one in Lynchburg. The one in Lynchburg is already pulled, but it looks like it's an older part number. Now, Nissan says that's not the right, or that it won't work in my newer truck. However, Nissan Parts Deal says that the part number that came out of my truck supersedes that part number of the one I'm going to pick up. So does Supergrok, so does Google. So, I'm just gonna drive to Lynchburg and try this one. I'm gonna have them measure it and see if it's the same length as mine, and we'll hope that that works. So, fingers crossed. It was make the decision and wait till 11:30 and hope that the other one was in good shape, or try this one. Because I don't have time to go do both. 3-hour drive basically each way. 2.5 to Baltimore, 3 to Lynchburg. So I get to explore pretty much all of Virginia. If this one doesn't work, then I don't know. The shop can get a used one on Tuesday. I guess I could go to the Maryland site on Monday, unless they're open on Saturdays. And by then, theirs will be pulled. But who knows? The absurdity of the stuff that happens to me sometimes. All right, I'll keep you updated. All right, so I made it down to Lynchburg, and this drive shaft is exactly the same size, 3-hour drive. So I think we're good. Hopefully, fingers crossed. 2.5-hour drive back to the truck. We'll try to put it in and see if we can get back on the road tonight. I'm sorry I didn't film the picking it up and all of that. I'm trying to make this happen today so that I'm not stuck here till middle of next week. Oh, that's pretty. The Roanoke River I'm driving over right now. The whole way down, though, I wanted to stop at all these historical sites like Montpelier, James Madison's mansion, the Wilderness Battlefield from the Civil War, Robert E. Lee and U.S. Grant's headquarters from that battle. I mean, there's just all kinds of stuff that I'd love to see, but no time. No time to do that today. Got to get this baby fixed, get back on the road, and catch our ferry to Cape Lookout, which I may still make, Lord willing. I'll let you know in about 3 hours. So you can see where the U-joint twisted out, just chewed up the aluminum. Plus the ring in there, the indent for the ring is worn out. Could have been why it got torn up or something. Could have been why it came apart. So we got one that matches the same size now. Hoping we get something going today. It's about done here. Got the new drive line in it. Well, new to me. New ball joints, or U-joints front and rear. Well, after a day and a half of my truck sitting at the shop, searching all over Virginia for a drive shaft to fit a Pro 4X, which is a different drive shaft than the regular Frontier because it has a different axle.
I'm finally on the road. At about, I don't know, 4:45 I hit the road. I drove 6 hours today from Fredericksburg, Virginia to Lynchburg, Virginia, picked up this axle and drove back and had them put two new U-joints in them at Doc's Auto in Fredericksburg. They were very patient with my my rush to get this fixed and my pacing around and looking at everything. So thanks Doc Auto, Heather and James at Doc Auto in Fredericksburg, Virginia. You guys got me on the road, and I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. If you're in Fredericksburg and your truck breaks down, you should go to Doc Auto. Not that I would wish that on any of you, but I'm super lucky that it didn't come apart until I was basically stopped. Because when a U-joint in the drive shaft goes like that, it can destroy your truck or cause you to wreck. And it was a busy highway and everybody was flying, so God was watching out for me. I'm lucky to still be here and still have a truck. But knock on wood, hopefully there's no more issues for the rest of the trip. We'll see how it goes. So I'm about an hour or something away from Yorktown, where I'm staying for the night. I lost a day in Yorktown. Hopefully I'll have time to see the battlefield tomorrow before I head to Cape Lookout. I'll still make my ferry, knock on wood, barring any other issues. But yeah, so we'll see how it goes. So I'm getting close to Yorktown here, and there's just histories everywhere. I think I'm driving through old battlefields because there's like earthworks everywhere, and I'm close to Williamsburg. There's a cool house right there, an old fence, something, historical tours. Those look like old earthworks. Sadly, I didn't get to spend as much time down here because of this breakdown. I may have to amend my plans. I know this isn't technically overlanding, so bear with me. We'll just call it touring. I may have to come back up here after I get done at Cape Lookout. Right over here, Yorktown Battlefield. I'm falling in love with Virginia. You could spend 2 weeks here just going to battlefields and history stuff. Loving it! Make sure to like, subscribe, and watch out for the next episode as we tour the Yorktown battlefield and head down to Cape Lookout so that we can take the ferry over to the island. We'll see you next time on Whiskey City Overland.